Welcome back to Series 3 of the Lisbon Sessions. In this episode, David Russell speaks with Ulugbek Suyumov.
Hi everybody, welcome to another edition of Lisbon Sessions Season 3. Now we've got a veteran of the Lisbon Sessions with us, Beck from Finbek. Beck, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
You were there all that time ago when we started the whole thing.
That's very true.
Back by popular demand.
I'm very welcome to Lisbon again, because this is a quite spectacular place.
I'll let everybody see.
yeah,
Beck, you can tell us where we are.
This is one of the miradouros that you have in Lisbon, where you have a very nice view on the castle and the whole central part of Lisbon. This was all rebuilt after 1755 major earthquake, when the Marquês Pombal, the Marquis of Pombal, was a mayor and was the Prime Minister of Portugal.
And there's one on the other side as well, actually.
Right
a sort of
across, there's
corresponding
another,
one.
and somebody's looking
You guys a little
this
look.
way and seeing the wonderful view also.
And we're being serenaded by somebody attempting Pink Floyd, I think. But sounds a little bit like a cat, if you picked a cat up by its tail and swung it around in the air.
Well, you have music here all year round, and you have very nice local foods and a variety of things.
This area is definitely worth a visit, everybody. Quick question, Beck. How have things been going? A lot of people out there are going to be watching the news. As always, Golden Visa is a bit of a political football. There's discussions, there's meant to be votes coming up in Parliament. They were due September. Now it looks more like October for citizenship. How are you finding questions from inquiries, interested people? What's the word on the street out there?
Thank you, David. The major question that we're getting from, or the most frequent question that we're getting from all of our investors, mainly the US investors, is that if I apply now, will I be eligible for a Portuguese passport in 5 years or in 10 years? That's a main difference that we're seeing right now as a result of passing the vote or not passing the vote in terms of the new legislation. Mm-hmm. So this kind of increased the flow, and those people that were kind of undecisive where to go forward this year or to hold on, it has helped to accelerate the process, because people just don't want to risk. Then we have another category of investors, for those who doesn't make a difference to have a Portuguese passport, because they say, I don't want to have a Portuguese passport anyway, because I just want to renew my residency in Portugal, because they travel frequently on business to Germany, to Austria, to other countries. So basically they want to have unrestricted access to Schengen countries.
Mm-hmm. Okay, understood. And in terms of investments, you were very kind to put us in your top 2 of Golden Visa funds. We don't talk about the other one. In your top 2, I think AWDR might take us over the top. I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm not putting you on the spot. What are investors talking about now? Is there any change in investor climate? What's going on?
So if we compare the number of funds that are available in the market today compared to 1 year ago, 2 years ago, David, we can see there's a big number of funds that are available, and also there is a wide span of businesses that are investing in. And therefore, it becomes more and more important to perform the financial analysis of the investments that you're making. Because this is not just a piece of real estate that you're buying, where a conventional investor would say, okay, it's going to appreciate, it's going to give me some annual income, and all in all, it's worth it. You can get into investment funds that may be investing in some risky assets that you don't know, first of all, whether they'll be able to pay you back what they're promising every year, and well, they'll be able to pay you back capital, because this is this is not a term deposit. So, and we try to tell our investors about the risk that they're running. When looking at your fund compared to other funds, we like it because we understand the mathematics behind it, because we can calculate what is the renewable energies obligatory purchase rate. So, excess production has to be sold to the grid line. The law is already established in Portugal for that, and that's good for the electricity producers. We also can anticipate what will be the estimated value of the residual value of the investment made after the 5-10 years, when you decide to sell or replace the stock of the equipment that you're buying. And so it becomes more closer to a bond investment rather than equity investment, which gives additional comfort to investors.
I understand. No, I understand what you mean. And look, that's great to hear. Right? That really is great to hear. I mean, I think as well, as I've said before on the sessions, and this goes for a lot of other funds out there as well, New Frontiers captures the spirit of the Golden Visa. I mean, I believe in the last, well, I believe from about 6 months ago to the end of 2025, they're projecting that 2 billion euros will have flowed into Portugal from Golden Visa investors. And obviously the government mandated that they wanted that money to be put into certain areas of infrastructure to enhance certain parts of Portugal. Obviously, New Frontier sums that up, as do a lot of other funds. But I think some don't potentially do that, and that's for people investing. Look for funds that do something positive for Portugal.
I think you're right because in October 2012, when the whole program was set up, at the time it was the government that thought about attracting investment into Portugal and to help the economic development of the country because after Lehman Brothers in 2008, there was a crisis in the Iberian Peninsula, as you know, and the credit rating agencies have downgraded Portuguese sovereign rating, and therefore it was a very important phase in order to attract the investors.
Yeah.
Of course, along these 15 years, there's been a lot of learning process, and there has been some adjustment in the program because the government wants to make sure that all the millionaires from all over the world that are very welcome in Portugal, that are not replacing the local population, and therefore the new law in October 2023 limited the investment into real estate and to attract more into equity capital of Portuguese companies, which was positive. And now you can see the funds that are investing into the real economy and making a real difference. If you compare Portugal like it was 10 or 20 years ago, or even Lisbon, with so many old buildings and so many abandoned places, and look at it now, it's a flourishing place. I'm sure it wouldn't have been possible without the foreign investment, first in the real estate and then later on in the equity capital.
No, I agree. And overall, Beck, are you confident about the long-term future of the Golden Visa? You think it's going to be around for a long time? There may be some finagling, some little tweaks of it here and there, but do you think it's here to stay?
I think it's here to stay, even though I think that there may be some adjustments to be made, and probably the government will be, the government and the parliament will be, they'll be smart enough to ask for feedback from the players, from the investors, from the financial advisors like us, from the brokers in the market. Why? Because we can contribute with ideas to improve even further the program and to alleviate, for example, the tax rate for the residents and contribute to the development of the country. So main argument right now against the Golden Visa is that, okay, now you have all the millionaires living in Lisbon and your locals are being pushed out, etc. So why not to create a system where you would invest, let's say, from the total of 500,000, 400 or 450,000 into the fund, and then one fund or 500,000 into the fund, maintaining the same, and then an additional 50, etc., for the special tax or whatever that could be created, in order to alleviate the tax on the local residents. So, for example, that's one of the solutions that market has been speaking about. Nobody likes to pay more taxes, obviously, but I think that if you already have a big flow of capital coming in, I think there could be an opportunity for a smart tax introduction, not just all across, and that has to be drawn very carefully and analyzed with the market so we don't disturb the market, but at the same time attract investment and help the local residents to have a benefit from it as well.
I think that's a fantastic point. Beck, as always, it's incredibly enlightening talking to you, very informative. We're about to get blown off the balcony, I think, here. Thank you so much, guys. You've been listening to Beck from Finbek, Financial Analysts and Advisors. Beck, been an absolute pleasure. Thanks so much for doing season 3. We'll maybe even get you back season 4 or 5.
That's true, and we're looking forward also to having all the investors that have already invested here, because we have created a club of our investors
brilliant.
that have invested, because once they come here, they're like, what now? So not only can you enjoy the view, but you can also connect with us, because we have, as we
We'll put details up at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah,
Everybody,
as-
thanks so much
take
for
care.
watching.
Thank you.